This game preview is brought to you by Manscaped's Premium Ultra Soft Boxer Briefs 2.0, complete with the all-new jewel pouch to protect your stones. Use the promo code SACCITY for 20% off and free worldwide shipping. Manscaped, the perfect tools to protect your jewels.
All right, next game on the list. It's the Indianapolis Colts traveling to Houston to take on the Texans, an AFC South division matchup here. The over-under is 45.5 points. Aaron, I'm going to start with this. The Colts obviously brought in Matt Ryan, brand new quarterback. Offense should be looking different in this game. What do you expect to see from this new look Colts offense?
I expect them to open it up a little bit more with the trust that Matt Ryan is better than Carson Wentz. And I think we all agree that. I think we're talking about a Hall of Fame quarterback, arguably. I think Matt Ryan comes out and sets a tone against a young Houston team. It wouldn't shock me if there was an upset, but I do think Matt Ryan plays well in this one, and I think the connection between him and Michael Pittman will be nice. I think Jonathan Taylor will have a nice day on the ground because Houston is so young. But the Colts are a funny team. Because I don't know that based on last year not making the playoffs, but I think they're a solid team, and I think that they'll kind of coast through the regular season, win some games, lose a couple they probably shouldn't, win some they shouldn't, and just kind of coast into that division title because that division's not very strong.
Last season, the Indianapolis Colts outscored the Houston Texans 62-3. 62-3 last season. On the defensive side for Houston, do we see we see a better performance from them, not allowing so many points and maybe their offense scoring a little bit more?
I think you see improvement. Again, I don't like to translate exactly what improvement equates to on a scoreboard. I think that's kind of unfair. But I do think you see improvement in certain key areas. I don't think they're as bad against the run as they are last year. I don't think I think they'll be able to cover a little bit better. I think they're going to be more rejuvenated and energized from a Jalen Petrie, right? Young guy who's coming in and kind of taking that leadership role. Derek Stingley's there. I think some young guys bringing some energy will help them. And then Lovie Smith is obviously a defensive coach. So I think they play better, but that doesn't necessarily mean the score or the outcome of the game is any different. But I do like Houston, man. I like what they're doing. I don't fully believe in Davis Mills, but I think he's very Mac Jones-esque. I do. I think he can be Mac Jones. I really do think he'd be a starter in this league at, the 20 to 32 starting quarterbacks, somewhere along those lines. But he's got to cut down to me on some of the ill-advised throws. But I like the fact that he takes chances being a young guy that maybe wasn't supposed to make it anyways. And I really worry about the weapons they have on the outside. You get Brandon Cooks, but Nico Collins is going to be big for him. They have to have somebody else step up. And I think Nico Collins and now Tyler Johnson being there could help that. And then maybe you get a Brevin Jordan, get him going this year, and maybe that offense can put up a little bit more points.
Yeah, and turning our attention to the running backs in this game, two running backs, one that is the best in the league in Jonathan Taylor, and one that we all have very high hopes for in Dameon Pierce for the Texans, the rookie running back out of Florida. Starting with Jonathan Taylor on the Colts side, last year, Jonathan Taylor absolutely scorched the Texans, and almost, I wonder if it's like a game script thing, and that's kind of where I'm going with the question. Last year, he had 14 carries, 145 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the first game, 32 carries, 143 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the second game. So quite a lot of carries for Jonathan Taylor against the Texans. Do you think that this game, I talked first about what do you expect to see from the Colts offense? You said open it up. Do you think this game might not go into that direction because of game script and then just continue to work Jonathan Taylor like they did last season?
Oh, I think you can open it up. I'm looking for them to open it up early. So if you open it up and then you go up 21-0, and then at the end of the day, you look at Jonathan Taylor has 25 carries and Matt Ryan only threw the ball 25 times. Like, people might look at that box score and say, oh, they just did the same thing they did last year. But that's not how I watch football. It's not how I evaluate football. In the first half, if Jonathan Taylor has 8 carries and Matt Ryan throwing the ball 22 times and only in the second half he's only throwing it a couple, then they opened it up. And I think that's what we see here. I don't think it's going to be unbalanced. I just think it would be more balanced than it was last year. I don't think you're going to see Jonathan Taylor with 35 carry games this year. I truly don't. I think if they're up that much, I think you mix in some other guys because you want to make sure that he's healthy. At the end of the day, Jonathan Taylor cannot carry the workload of 400 touches every single year. Nobody can. Nobody can. Touches go down usually each year for a player. I don't expect him to touch the ball that many times this year, as many as last year. He'll get the ball plenty, but not as many as last year. And I think that Matt Ryan is there for that reason, to throw the ball a little bit more, get up on teams, and then allow Jonathan Taylor to bruise you and batter you and then get his work. So early, open it up. Obviously, if it's a blowout, yeah, they're going to run the ball in the second half.
Okay. And on the Texans side, your boy Dameon Pierce, what do you think his stat line is in week 1?
Tough matchup. Lovie Smith had an interesting take when he said he's earned the right to be out there with the starters. Exactly. Even Layla loves Dameon Pierce. I love it. But then you have to worry about his third down usage. Rex Burkhead is probably going to be the passing down back. I expect Dameon Pierce probably to get anywhere between 17 to 20 touches in this game from a rushing perspective. So I don't know how many catches he'll get or how many targets. I'm not sure how they'll use him on third downs. But I do think that he'll get up there anywhere from, I should say, 15 to 20, because if they're getting blown out, he might find himself game scripted out of the game. But I do think he is the guy. I don't think it's particularly close. I think it was made clear when they cut Marlon Mack. Rex Burkhead is not an every down running back. We know that. And I think Dameon Pierce has earned his job, and I think he'll be good this year. I think he's solid.
The Colts have lost 8 straight season openers. That is the active streak for season opening losing streaks. And actually it's third right now all time. So give me the Colts here to break that streak. 27-21. I think the Texans keep it interesting. Like we've said before, I think the Texans are a team that'll make wins hard for other teams, but they still they can't win this game. It's 27-21 Colts.
I think I had Houston upsetting the Colts here when we did our, each game by game or whatever. Dylan has the Colts here. I'm going to take the Colts as well. I think the Colts win 31-23.